Yeah, that makes sense. The eliminate competition by absorbing them.
Yeah, well, even though I really like Shermans, I cannot blame them for selling company. It was very smart business decision. It was owned by a Sherman family for over 86 years, three generations. And fourth generation, children were not interested in this business, so they wouldn't be fourth generation anyway. So they sold it while it was very valuable name. They could get good money. Otherwise, same Altria would run them down and in a couple of years would force them to sell for peanuts.
Right, right. Hey, just so that you guys know, we are now live on YouTube. So if any homeless people wander into the YouTube channel by accident, just what's over here? What's around this corner? This is the Virtual Pipe Club. These are the superstars of the Virtual Pipe Club, the rock, the inner circle, the those in the know. Anyway, so welcome to the Virtual Pipe Club. We do this every Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S. and 7 p.m. London time, wherever you live, do the math. Come on in and join us. Also, so Eleazar Arebolo, Eleazar, if I've ruined your name, I really apologize. Anyway, he says, good afternoon from Chi-Town. Chicago's in the house. So Eleazar and everybody else who might be tuning in over there on YouTube, I'm going to try to keep one eye over here on the YouTube chat. So if you're not in the Zoom room and you've got questions, or today we got something really special. You want to participate in today's roundtable. Love to have you, tell me what your questions are over there on YouTube, and I will be your telephone delivery guy. All right, so that's my spiel for the live streaming. So today we had something pretty special planned. It was a bit of a brainchild by Oliver, and Oliver and I then failed to actually have a conversation about the structure of today. So I woke up this morning and was like, okay, typically on a roundtable, we have panelists, and then people will ask the panel questions. And here's the deal. Everybody is now officially a panelist. So it's going to be more like a group chat than a roundtable, I guess. But why don't you set it up? What was your idea and what should we do today? So I'm passing the buck, right? But Oliver, you're gonna have to turn your own mic on.
So what was the question?
I said if you can't respond, then I'll forget about the money I owe you. That's what I said.
What can I say is it was a little bit too less.
It wasn't enough anyway. No, I said, you want to set this up a little bit, kind of like it was. I thought it was a brilliant idea doing a roundtable.
This wasn't. I got it, but this was not the part of the deal, David. Sorry. So, but I have, before I started with something stupid, maybe I have to tell a little bad story about our best friend, Son Bear John. He can't join today. He is right now, I guess, in the hospital, and end of the story. So everything else is privacy, and we have to respect it. But it's sad. I would say it's sad because he is the guy why we have this roundtable. Every day he said, "Hey, Sun Bear's coming. Sun Bear's coming." He changed his name to Sun Bear John, and it's so sad that he can't join today. So
yeah,
but it is what it is.
Thank you for bringing him up. So, John, at some point, maybe you'll get a chance to watch this recording of the the meeting today, the roundtable today. We love you, brother. We miss you. We wish you good health. And we can't wait to see you come back in. But stay where you are for as long as you need to, heal and recover. And, we'll see you back. We'll still be here.
Yeah.
Graham Wilson, who I'm assuming is not the Far Side illustrator, because it's a different spelling, says, what's the best tobacco ever? Well, that's an easy question to answer today. because today, the best tobacco ever is Sun Bear, and then we'll do a different best tobacco ever tomorrow. We'll do another one, right? So how many of you guys got a 10 or 12 or whatever? So David, were you there like at 12:01 putting in your order?
Actually, I was at 12, but it didn't work until 12:03, and I was desperate, thinking, oh my God, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. or 7. Maybe they say after 12, but it's not going to happen. I missed it last year because I didn't have a smoking pipes account. I had pipes and cigars my whole life, so I was kind of lazy to create the second one. And I finally get one tin last year from a guy from my pipe club, and I have to trade it for a McClellan 5100, which it's worth. I don't care. I love this tobacco so much. So this year, I bought a few tins for myself.
Excellent. I figured you'd be like right on it's the earliest of the early birds.
The thing is, like, as I mentioned in the previous meetings, I was lucky to meet Jeremy in Columbus convention, and he was so kind to allow me to smoke the version 3 and the version 4 before they released the final product. And they were totally different than the final one that we smoked last year. So I love honey blends like BU, for example, and or Interlude from them as well. And it's like, I gotta get it. And this year is like, my only concern was one. Can we buy 2? Can we buy 3? Can we buy 5, 8, or 10? So I was not as sure. So thankfully I had a chance to get 8.
Yeah. So fellas, do not feel like anybody's going to pressure you to reveal how many tins you get. Like, it's fine if you want to say, oh, I'm so thankful I got 8 tins, 2 tins, whatever like that. But, like,
I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be like,
yeah, right.
like, yes, I've been hoarder or anything. I don't want to brag about it, but
yeah, we understand you have a, oh Jesus.
I got 19. I got one from a friend who sent me the last year one. My friend Nico that I always mention from Chile, he surprised me weeks ago before Jeremy said that he finally was coming, because I was so in love with that blend. I only smoked 1 tin. And this time I sent him money on PayPal and say, buy me as many as they're possible. And another friend of mine, I bought him Tilbury and sent it to him. So he traded me, instead of trading any money, he just bought me 3. And they came up, I make the purchase like everybody else on Wednesday night. And by Friday morning, I have them at home, the 3 boxes.
Yeah, actually, I was really surprised. I don't know if anybody else, like, I'd love to hear everybody else's like experience with how fast they got their orders.
Well, I got mine 2 days later or 3 days later, I would say. I ordered at Capo Joe's, and it was, I don't know, 2 hours before 12, before the day, I got the email. So you can order now. So, and I did it, and 2 or 3 days later, I got this stuff.
I had to go to a couple of different stores. So I got a tin from Smoking Pipes, and then I got 2 tins from Pipe Nook. You guys saw the video that I made, and both of them just like that. I think they might have suspected that there'd be a revolution on their hands if they didn't get it out to us fast. So let's maybe start here. How many brought smoking sun bear today? Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we like start the ball rolling with the guys who are smoking sun bear today? Same as usual. Let's talk about the pipe. Let's talk, and then like this is not technical or formal or any of that other BS. Just like, what's your impression? What do you like it? Does it suck? Are you going to trade it in for some Captain Black? You know, like what do you think?
You should have told me this in advance that this wasn't going to be formal, David, because I sent out like 68 surveys with 80 questions each just to get a good feel for how good this stuff is.
Yeah, I know you do that. Yes. So what did the survey say? Let's start with you.
The first question was, did you manage to get a tin? And if you didn't, you could skip to question 81, which wasn't there. So that's how far I got.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that because you're in Netherlands, you are still pining for a tin from somebody.
Yeah, they don't sell them in Europe, I believe. I know that Philip Orr, our Scottish gentleman, ordered some in the US. But as I've told you before, Holland has really strict laws on importing tobacco. And it's not so much that you can buy tobacco abroad, but it's that we have a very unique system in taxing tobacco. So basically, if you buy tobacco elsewhere, they see it as tax evasion. It's pretty much comes down to that. So it's really, really hard to buy tobacco abroad. You are allowed to take it on you per person, but you're not allowed to have it delivered. And there's a limit to it. So yeah, I didn't dare order it in the States, and that's whenever somebody sends me tobacco, I at least ask them, like, open the tin, take some out, make sure that it doesn't look like a new product, or throw it in a Ziploc or whatever, and label it herbs or fertilizer or whatever you can come up with, because that way it doesn't look like I bought it off a store, and it's more likely to arrive.
Does this remind anybody else of the opening scene of Pulp Fiction? You know,
Yeah.
buying pot in Amsterdam.
Anyway, same in Finland. It's next to impossible to get some sun bear here.
Well, I mean, this is the thing about this group. I know I've already talked to a few of us who have some, and we're gonna try to figure out a way to send you guys a care package somehow. So cool.
Like I said, I'll gladly do the European distribution. It's no problem. I'll help people out.
Awesome. Zach, are you smoking some sun bear today?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, give us the big reveal, bro. What just your thoughts on it, and what you would tell somebody who's like, I don't like, what is it?
Well, I would say it's I know there was some argument of whether it's an aromatic or not. I wouldn't consider it an aromatic based on how it tastes. It's definitely Virginia. The Orientals are a little tougher to find. I know it says they're in there as components, but they're buried a little bit. You kind of have to look for them. As far as the room note, my girlfriend loves this stuff, and it might as well be an aromatic. So that's a bonus. And because of the occasion, I brought out a Savinelli Miele. I'm not Italian. Honey pipe.
Honey pipe.
So, and the honey dripper tamper that it comes with. So just to add to the occasion, I suppose.
Well done. Nice touch there.
Yep, points for style, Zach.
Hey.
One thing, Zach, even if you didn't have the honey or the little touch of tequila, which I didn't appreciate it other than sniffing about.
Yeah.
The Bashma, it's a combination of 4 Orientals, and they're kind of Macedonians and too sweet itself. So
Okay.
that's probably what it makes it like a sweet blend.
Yeah, I mean, they're in there. They're just not. The Virginias are definitely in the front seat. That's what I'm noticing. It's very enjoyable though, any way you slice it.
Bill, are you smoking some Sun Bear? Bill McCullough? Still didn't get the mic turned on there. Bill is going to resort to sign language in a moment.
There we go. I got it. I think. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm smoking it in a Scorty business pipe, which took me like 20 bowls of Prince Albert to get broken in right. But it's working now, and I find that Sun Bear is like a Virginia, except a lot sweeter. And I think I can taste the honey, and I think I can feel the coolness of the Basma and Ismer. I think refreshing is the best word I have for this tobacco. Just refreshing.
And another thing I want to recommend you guys, if you only have one tin and you want to spread it throughout the year for the special occasions like your birthday, Christmas, and that's it, I really recommend you to move it into a jar right away. So if not, the honey is going to be gone within 2 weeks.
I would agree with that. I'm smoking last year's batch, actually. I haven't opened my tins. I have it here, what's left of from last year. And I agree with that. Get it in a jar, or some of the other qualities will dissipate.
That's awesome advice here. Picking and Piping over there on YouTube bought his from Briarworks, who released theirs 2 days after smoking pipes. And Graham, unfortunately, says Sun Bear is not available in the UK at all. So he's also weeping, just like Bart. Bill, what did you say? Several bowls of Prince Albert to get that pipe seasoned up?
Yes, I was breaking in everything with Prince Albert because it was sort of mild and I never got any ghosting from it, but it did put on a nice cake. But this thing was the most stubborn pipe I've had. It was foul. I mean, it was brand new when I got it, but it just didn't smoke well. But after about somewhere between 10 and 20 bowls of Prince Albert over a prolonged period of time, it works. I was smoking Haunted Bookshop in it, and Haunted Bookshop tasted exactly like it was supposed to, and I knew I had won the battle.
And so now, no after effects that color the Sun Bear experience. You're tasting.
I don't think so. I've smoked Sun Bear and other pipes, and it tastes about the same. I'm probably the world's worst tobacco reviewer, so take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I think I'm worse than you.
Yeah, I'm so bad I started a YouTube channel around it. Because for those of you who don't know, it's a comedy channel. That's right.
I really enjoy that actually, because you always say how bad you are in describing taste, and then you make like a 12-minute video about tobacco. I thoroughly enjoy that, to be honest. I thought it was very, how do you say that? Very disarming, we would say in Dutch, but I don't know if that works in English. It's very nice to see, somebody who says, I know nothing, but I'm going to give you my opinion. I think that works.
Yeah, it's just 12 minutes of me stumbling around trying to find it's good. And that's the whole content of the video.
Well, I can't open up my jar of Rustica anymore without seeing a meat lacquer from your review.
I know. I think Per, like this is how I got connected with Per Jensen before he came on to be our guest, is I put up that video, and then like the next day I had a comment from him on the video, and I'm like, you know, I fell to the floor and was like, wow, I can't believe this. So then we started going back and forth, and he was very, very complimentary about the video and whatever. But I wonder if sometimes he regrets encouraging me, because now everybody thinks Rustica tastes like steak or hamburger or something. So he may be like dreading the next time I do a McBaron review. But,
David, I thought the Penzance versus Star the East Flake review was excellent. I mean, you said a lot of the things that I think I was thinking as I, smoked Penzance, which I think is a great blend. But when you describe that kind of mouthfeel and wanting to brush your teeth like afterwards, and how that's different from a lot of blends, that's pretty much my experience. And I think it's a well put together blend. But it's definitely, I mean, there's other English/Balkans that I like more. And I thought you did a really good job of just expressing how the tobacco felt to you, how both of them felt to you in your experience. And, without not, a million and one adjectives, just here's what it's like, you can sort of accept this or go explore it on your own. So I thought it was very well done.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I appreciate the kind words and the feedback. But now that I've made the video, what's really interesting to me is like hearing from everybody else their impressions. Like, because I'm not that experienced. I had this one other Balkan blend that I had for a while, the Brebia.
Brebia Balkan. Amazing tobacco, love it.
Yeah,
I got some from Steve Manjur a few years ago. Well, unfortunately, I finished it, don't have it anymore. By the way, I really liked your review of Penzance, and I agree with you about how it feels, but because we have different tastes, I love that heavy Latakia aftertaste. So that's why I would choose Penzance.
It's really interesting. Like Latakia, I generally do like Latakia. There was just something about it, and I haven't put my finger on it. It was a good blend, obviously work of genius. But like I said in the video, it's like I would be hard pressed to pick an occasion where like, oh yes, Penzance, that's I'm smoking today, bro. That kind of tobacco is like I'm standing in front of my cellar, like I do it in front of the refrigerator, going, I'm hungry for something and I'm not sure what. Oh, Penzance. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. Like that's probably how that would come about.
I haven't had the Star of the East. Haven't tried that yet. I gotta pick some of that up. And after I saw your review, I went out and grabbed some Penzance and smoked a bowl. And I don't smoke it when it's hot. I will go for Penzance. December, January, it's got to be cold. That's when I enjoy it the most. And when it's 80 degrees out, not so much.
I totally agree with you. It's more like a winter tobacco when it's cold outside, and you want something full body with a good amount of Latakia. Yes. For summertime, I'll stick to Virginia's Oriental or some milder English.
Yeah.
David, is this the one that you smoked? This one that you refer?
No. The one.
That one has green tin.
The green one. It's either this one or the green one. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Brebia Balkan. Yes. Okay. It's made with both Latakia and dark fired Kentucky.
Right. And strangely enough, so I have heard from other reviewers who know almost everything more than I do, that dark fired sometimes can mask as Latakia.
Well, thing is, Latakia, it's Oriental tobacco cured over fire of certain woods and herbs, which grow mostly in Mediterranean. Dark fired Kentucky, again, there are a lot of different versions of dark fired Kentucky. depending on who made it, what kind of wood they used. And it's mostly American hardwood, so it's totally different flavor to the smoke. And the tobacco itself, while Oriental is not as heavy on nicotine, it has certain sweetness and floral notes, while Dark Fire, that's pretty much burley, which is more nutty than floral, and those dark wood smoke gives it totally different flavor. Sometimes you can distinctly detect hickory there if they use hickory wood, and that's very common for Dark Fire Kentucky. Sometimes they just use oak or maple, which gives a totally different flavor. So again, depending where it's made, what kind of wood they used, Dark Fire can be totally different.
And also what Dimitri is saying, you gotta understand that many people may not know, but Latakia is a burley. It's just both ways are kind of processed the same way. You just
Lataki is Oriental. It's not burley.
It's Oriental, but it's made on a burley leaf.
Yes, and Dark Fire Kentucky, that's burley. Kentucky tobacco, it's burley. One of the varieties of burley tobacco.
And one thing I can recommend you, David, if you keep, or Todd, because he's a big Penzance lover, if you have done your same review, which again, one more time is excellent for not knowing much, and sometimes you say more in 12 minutes than people in 40. So congrats on that. Another one I suggest, if you still have Penzance and Start of the East Flake, try the Quiet Nights. Because a lot of people say that the Quiet Nights is kind of the GLP versions of Penzance. So if you want to make another video and comparing the three this time, it will be great.
I immediately ordered a tin of Quiet Nights the day after I put up the video because I got a bunch of comments just like that. So I think I've got a tin of it around here somewhere, and I'm going to do a review on that one. Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I did. Dimitri, are you smoking some Sun Bear today?
No, actually, I didn't buy any Sun Bear for one simple reason. It's not really my kind of tobacco. Yes, I can smoke it and enjoy it, but I would rather leave it for somebody who can really appreciate it, who really wants it.
Got it. Well, Alistair, you cracked it for the first time right here on camera. You're on record.
I sure did. That tin note's amazing. I knew it would be. I read a review that said so. Initially, I didn't notice anything other than Virginia in it. And about, a third of the way through here, I was like, whoa, there's some honey. I'm not sure what else I'm going to taste in a minute, because I think it's going to evolve. As my palate evolves, I may be able to tell you more about it later.
Is it a tobacco you would smoke fairly regularly, or is this just like, okay, I'm going to put that tin aside and?
Well, I did buy 2 tins on the hunch that maybe this was a good thing to have. So I'll probably put the second one aside and put this in my rotation for the next few weeks, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, if y'all saw my post, I bought a whole bunch of stuff because I haven't smoked in a while. And so, last couple nights ago, I smoked the Amphora Virginia, which was a terrible experience. I think it was just too wet. But yesterday I cracked open the Amphora Burley, and I'd never had a Burley before. So, I like that. Yeah. But I like this too. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Well,
I feel a ban coming for somebody. The moment he said, I didn't like Amphora, I saw somebody losing their shit. I'm with you on this one. I do like Amphora as well. Not all of them, but they make some nice tobaccos. For the money, they are really good.
I thought somebody got goosed there for a second.
You like it, Bart, because he's from hometown, the Netherlands. So you gotta like it.
Yeah, I know. I actually got I've said this before, I actually got an amphora pipe, which was a collectible. You got like stamps with the packages of tobacco, and if you had enough, you could basically get a voucher for a pipe with it. They made like 7 different ones. And the funny thing is, it has like a little knob on the stem that actually can be used to reduce or open up the size of the stem. It's a really, really nifty design. It's a really cool pipe.
I got some amphora burley. You know, I'm like Todd and a couple other you guys. Like I'm like in this constant state of experimentation and trying to figure out different things. So I had some HH burley flake, and I was like drooling how much I loved it. You know, the peanut butter sandwich thing. So amphora also produced by McBaron. I'm like, this can't be terrible. And I got the amphora burley, but I haven't tried the amphora Virginia. So I can say neither yay nor nay, or so on that one.
Amphora Dark Fire Kentucky is really good. I recommend that one.
I had a little experience this morning. I had some HH Pure Virginia, and after this I had some Amphora Virginia. And don't get me wrong, but it's pretty close. So I love the Amphora for this price. And the funny thing is, if you rip out the HH Pure Virginia, it looks pretty much like the Amphora. So the colors is pretty much the same. So I would say the Amphora is a little brother of the HH Pure Virginia.
Yeah, I smoked Amphora Virginia. I think it's very decent tobacco. It wouldn't be my first choice, but if I'm looking for Virginia and nothing better is available, I'll be very happy with Amphora.
Yeah, I use it most of the time when I'm tired of all the heavy stuff like the Kentuckys and the Latakias, and I want to enjoy the morning coffee maybe. Then it's an Amphora Virginia. It's the right way for me to go.
I used to buy the Amphora in the 8-ounce tins back in the 60s, and the original has definitely changed since then.
Okay.
In what way, Stephen?
It's just, well, like you, I don't know. I'm worse than Bill when it comes to, but I can tell the difference. As a matter of fact, the same thing holds true for, I used to smoke a lot of Golden Extra back in the 60s and 70s. And it was really addictive. I mean, when I first bought my first tin, I couldn't stop smoking it. And back then, I don't think, at least where I was buying it from, wasn't offered by the pound. It was just in the tins. And one day I did send Per Jensen a note questioning that the aroma and the taste has changed a bit since then. And he replied back and he said, that's probably because we took out the coumarin, that we couldn't have that in the tobacco for some reason. But I could really tell the difference. But I mean, I still smoke a lot of the Golden Extra. But the Amphora blends, the original has definitely changed. As far as that goes, even Sir Walter Raleigh back in the 60s and 70s, it's totally different today than what it was back then.
Steve, on the last meeting, I came in late, so I didn't see where you were talking about the Edgeworth Ready Rub. Sutliff did a match of that, which I really love. And Watch City Cigars, they do a deluxe crumb cut, Dutch crumb cut, which is phenomenal. It's also a Ready Rub match. I love that.
What's it called again?
Deluxe crumb cut. Watch City Cigars.
City Cigars.
Watch City. They've got some phenomenal blends. Ernie, I've never met him, but he produces some great tobaccos.
You know, another inexpensive Virginia. I don't know if anybody's had it yet, because they were giving out some free pouches, pipes and cigars. It was Drexel number 8. Has anybody tried that? It's very inexpensive and it is really good for Virginia. I think they make it, there's an aromatic, there's
We're
a.
asking some questions. I wanted to make sure that they got their questions tossed in. Blake Deasty, again, I'm butchering his name, has two questions. First of all, he says that his experience so far with Sun Bear is not good. So he's kind of, he says too wet. Now, before I chime in with my thought on the moisture about the Sun Bear, anybody else have some thoughts on the moisture on Sun Bear? He says he can't keep it lit.
You know, I had a problem with that initially, and I found out I was packing it too tight because I've been smoking it all week. I ordered from Tobacco Pipes on Wednesday, it showed up on Saturday. And my first impression of it was I was smoking it out one evening with a cup of coffee, and I thought I was smelling sawdust. It reminded me of my dad's workshop. I thought, that's really strange. And recently I started packing it looser, and I'm getting more of the honey flavor and, you know, the Virginia in it. So maybe he was packing it too tight because I did have to relight it a lot.
Blake over there on YouTube, man, that there's a thought for you. Just try to pack it a little looser. I've been packing everything loose, no matter what the tobacco. I'm still like trying to figure that whole algorithm out, basically. But I get a lot better performance out of a loose pack than a tighter pack. Anyway, Blake said he's going to throw it in the jar and come back in 6 months and try it again. David, do you think that's going to be effective? Let it age for like 6 months?
What I have done yesterday, it's gonna be Garrett, so you don't lose the honey. But one recommendation for Steven, it's like what I did yesterday. I smoke a bowl of something else first, just leave it on top of the table for about, I don't know, I smoke it 2 hours, but after 30 minutes, 20 minutes, it's perfectly moist. It's not gonna be as humid as it comes on the tin. And if you guys remember, Saint Arlan always says that these kind of tins with honey, blends with honey, with 5, 10, 15 minutes is enough, so you don't lose the flavor. Maybe some people don't know how to smoke flakes well, and it's more recommended to shred it and try both ways, more like a ready rub. Just try.
Hey, Richard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool. Well, Oliver, I'm calling on you just because you're on the second tier of my Brady Bunch. So you're definitely smoking some Sun Bear. What? Oh, and is that your clay?
Nope.
Nope. It's a mirror.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look how that's coloring.
Yeah.
But it matched perfect to the Sun Bear color box, tin. So, and it's good. So the first impression for me, this is the first time that I smoked this stuff. The tin note is outstanding. I never smelled something like that, I would say. So, and it's I'm a worst guy of some reviews, but I would say it's a mild one. It's sweet. The taste is totally different. I could say something else what's close to the Sun Bear, and so no tongue bite. I like it. I would buy it again, but it's not my outstanding tobacco ever.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good one. Yeah, you can smoke it the whole day and everything is fine. But that's it for me. It's not like, oh, you have to. No, you don't. My opinion.
And one thing that Zach said before, you don't catch the Orientals. I recommend you guys retrohaling. That's how you catch the Orientals more. You will catch the Izmir more retrohaling, the Bashma more through your mouth. And some people may confuse it with the honey. So if you don't care much about the honey, try for a couple of months, leave it open or leave it in the same tin where the honey is going to be gone. And that's when you're going to notice the Bashma much more.
By the way, again, over there, just acknowledging the guys on YouTube if you're watching, because for the first, I don't know, year-ish more, when everybody said something about retrohale, I'm like, I don't know what that means. I feel like the kid who is not in the cool kids group, and I don't want to ask the question. So retrohaling is like blow it out through your nose. And you know, with a nose like mine, then I'm smelling it all day long. So there.
I wouldn't recommend that for Rustica.
I would.
Yeah.
Well, I find that retrohalen brings a lot of flavors which you will miss otherwise, both with the pipe and with the cigar. I had some cigars which don't have a lot of flavor in your mouth, but they have amazing flavor on the retrohale. It's less noticeable with the pipe tobacco, but again, if you retrohale, you get a lot of flavors which you would miss without retrohaling.
Yeah, which brings up the little video that I'm gonna make here. But so my thought is, and again, feel free to beat up on me after I say this, that there is a reason for always starting your pipe smoking session with the tin note. Now, so the Sun Bear is like an excellent example of this, because I'm like with Oliver, I've never smelled something quite like this aroma. And you get that all up in your nose, and that's going to affect the way that you experience the next few parts of your bowl, right? And so there's the honey, there, like in the tin note, I can smell the tequila. And something that nobody's ever hasn't said about yet is the elderflower. Like I can smell that floral in the tin note, and that's something that doesn't come through when you just dive right into the smoking of the tobacco. But if you got it in your nose, and that elderflower is like, that's a tickle. So that's my rant for the day. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to
go ahead, Tim.
Todd, yeah, Todd, I just wanted to, you mentioned Watch City Cigars. That store is maybe about an hour away from where I live down in Framingham. Ernie's a really nice guy. I mean, and I think his tobacco blends are awesome. I mean, he's really, you know, expanded the line. So yeah, it's a overall very good experience.
Yeah, the 558 flake, and there's a number of them that I get. He's got to be the best kept secret. I'm just amazed at how few tobacco reviews there are for his stuff. So there's your tip for the day, man. Watch City Cigars.
I'm on it. I'm on top of it.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Tim, are you smoking Sun Bear today?
Me?
Tim Hummer.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I didn't get any. I probably should. I'm smoking, it's called China Black.
And how is it?
Nice, it's nice. A friend gave me half of his stash. I don't know exactly where he got it. It's described as a toasted Cavendish and Oriental mellow fire cured leaf. And my wife says it smells awesome.
Oh.
And I'm trying out for the first time a flea market fine pipe. I don't know what it is. It's not marked in any way. It's got some cool acorn shapes to it. I don't know if the wrap is original or if it's a repair. It looks original. It's done very nicely. It's just twine or string. But it's smoking pretty well, other than just a little bit hot. That's why I've been holding it other than on the bowl. That's probably my...
It looks like some old European pipe, maybe Germany, Austria, Hungary, something like that, judging by design.
Got some brass around the top of it.
Excellent. John Torfey, what you got there, brother?
Yeah, I've got some Sun Bear, and I agree with everybody's reviews so far. I mean, it's a very smooth smoke for me. I'm getting a little bit of the honey as I get further down the bowl. And I think it's could be an everyday smoke, an all-day smoke. Some real mild. Definitely one that I'll pick up again if it comes out again next year.
Anybody get any nicotine hit at all off of this?
No.
No.
I'll just say it.
Just say it, bro. Right. No, I didn't have any clue about how strong it would be, but this is you guys know what near beer is?
Yeah.
Right. When I was in the Navy, before you turn 21, you can go to the enlisted men's bar, enlisted men's club, and get 1% beer, which you can still drink, and we call it near beer. So it's like, it's beer, kind of. And so this is like near tobacco in a way. It's good. I totally taste it. I love it, but it's not like has the balls of other kinds of tobaccos.
Call it near bear.
Near bear. Brilliant. Where's Oliver? We need a banner of the near bear.
All right, got it.
Fantastic. Cool. So now, Tim Heineck, thank you for letting me walk all over you, man.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, so I got 2 tins of Sun Bear, and I'm smoking it in this very big Ardor Keith Moore model pipe. It's kind of like a big bent ball. Bought it about maybe 10 years ago. It's a great pipe, great smoker, one of my favorites. And this is proof that I have pipes other than Peterson. just for y'all to know. But no, I'm liking the Sun Bear. I think it's a good, really good everyday blend, except I probably can't make it every day because I'm going to run out. I only got 2 tins, but yeah, I think it's mellow. It smokes well. I'm getting the honey. And as I move down the bowl, I think I'm getting a little more of the Orientals in there. It's mixing in nice. I think it's a good blend. I think it's a great blend. I think it, it's living up to all the expectation that, has been written about it. Good job, Cornell and Diehl.
I thought about this. I went back and forth about asking Jeremy to sit in today, but I thought, what if you guys don't like it? that might be harsh. But I'm definitely sending today's video to him so that he can watch it, because I agree with Tim. I think it's a good one.
The only thing I'm really concerned is the fact that I know, and I apologize because I seem like I brag too much about how much I got, but I never got more than maybe 5 tins at one blend. Like Fillmore, because it's my favorite. This one, I love it so much, I have to do it. My only concern is like, it might I start opening tins and they get moldy, like other C&D I'm concerned about that. Not because, of course, I know they're gonna return the money, but it's like, I cannot smoke as much as I want.
Yeah. So did I ask you this? And if I did, it's just because I'm old already. How does it compare with like last year's or the version 3 and 4?
I think this one, what you mentioned before about when you smelling before smoking, in the previous one, I didn't notice the tequila or the booze, like the booze smell. And I don't think even read it on the last tin. This time, it has a little bit of booze more than previous one. About the Orientals, I think, of course, they improve and they get better. And the Virginia is as good as they always do.
Yeah.
Like the Carolina Red Blend. So I'm not concerned about that. It's more like the sweetness. I think, stronger in this one than the previous one.
It is, definitely.
Got it. So any of you guys out there who smoked last year's and didn't get this year's, at some point, it'll be around. Like there's going to be, like, I predict, because of my amazing ability to see the future, that there will be people going, I got, 18 tins and I don't think I'm going to need all of them. So they got some tins are going to come up on the secondhand market there. Pick yourself up a tin because it's a new smoke. At least that much.
I think that, sorry to interrupt.
No,
I think that if Cornell and Diehl made, I know they can't make this specific batch all the time because of the honey supply from Jeremy's own hives and everything like that. But if they had a replica or a match that was very close to it, I think they'd have a solid year-round, year after year, people's go-to kind of seller. Because it is light, it's pleasant, it's a good summer blend. Maybe not the Sun Bear itself, but something close to it. I think they'd have a big hit.
And I agree with Zach. That's exactly what I was going to mention. If it's on a daily basis, you can buy it any order you make every 2-3 months. I will maybe buy 2 or 3 at a time. But when it's like exclusive, get it now, or you don't know if there's going to be a 2021 version, you gotta dig now.
Yeah. So Tim Hummer asked if there's any Sun Bear that you can find on the websites and whatnot. I think right now they're all showing sold out. But remember last week when I said I'll bet you that there's another shipment going out to some of the retailers, and we're going to see another. And sure enough, a couple of other places came online and said that we've got some more. And I would right now, as we said, I'm sort of 50-50 whether smokingpipes.com will do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have some sitting. And so I check every day on Turbo Tin, and Oliver's been just beating me to the punch. So watch the Virtual Pipe Club group page, and if we find somebody who's got some stock, we're going to post it, and just like, do not pass go, do not collect $200, go directly and buy a couple of tins. Yeah.
Well, after this video goes on YouTube, I expect that the guys making Sun Bear will just make us like the official, non-official sponsor of Sun Bear, and just send us like a box of 12 each month, to hand out as promotional material. That seems right to you, doesn't it, David?
It does, sir. From your lips to Jeremy's ears, let's put it that way.
There we go.
How high are your numbers on the tin? So you guys have numbers higher than 4,000 of 8,000?
Mine's 565.
What a great question.
I didn't
mine
bring
were
my
60
tins.
and 19.
I've got
3,600.
69,
69.89.
1500s.
Okay.
1,500.
3218.
Look at you, man. Yeah. Oh, wow. So same shipment. One is 48.29. The other one's 59.13. So in between, by the time I made my order, some dude grabbed one out of one case, and then they were gone. And he had to go to another case to get my second tin. That's yeah.
But I
Same
got
with
the
me.
ones, since I got more, I got the ones from the 4,500, even though I did it at the 1203, so somebody was faster than me. And the oldest one is almost the 7,000. And
Yeah,
I only had 3 that were like constant, like, I don't know, random, 46, 55, 56, and 57.
But that's still pretty close together. That's the same lot, basically. Is when you got one that's in the 1,200s and one that's in the 4,000s, that's a different lot that you're pulling from.
I got 3, and I got 67, 14, 12, 14, and 15. My thinking was they pulled 13 out of there because it was an unlucky number.
Well, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea.
So I'm wondering if we need to give a little shout out to the people at Smoking Pipes, because if everybody's buying them at 12 midnight, were those guys up at 12 o'clock, like packing all these things into boxes, like having a major run from 12 o'clock till 6 in the morning, packing this stuff up?
No,
They'd have to.
No, I bet it was all done by computer. The computer was set to, shut off when a certain number was reached, and then I don't know, I could be wrong, but like you have to be pretty, I'm just trying to imagine the logistics of the demand being so overwhelming that you'd have staff on at midnight when it's only 8,000 tins.
Yeah.
And another thing you guys have to check is,
you're
sorry,
shipping
Steve, go for it.
50,000, that might be different, but 8,000 tins, that you're going to put staff on in the middle of the night.
And
There are
remember,
quite a few
another thing-
retailers too. So
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Some retailers go to like a week before.
Yeah. Right. So they already earmarked those to go out to those retailers, and so that's already 2,000 or 3,000 tins, I'll bet, that are.
They might have been the early ones too. Because like I said, tobacco pipes, mine, I got two of them. One of them was 565 and one was 700 something.
Oh, 500.
Yeah, 565.
So Stephen got the stuff that, still had the good booze in it. I got, he got the Hornitos. I got the Tito's,
I got the first packing.
John, do you say that you like the number 13 as your favorite?
No, I was just saying that I got 3 tins and the 13, I got them all in a row, but the 13 was not there. I got 12, 14, and 15. So I got 67, 12, 67, 14, and 67, 15.
Oh,
But
wow.
13 was missing. So I was thinking maybe they pulled it for some reason. It's just my thought.
The reason what I thought about that is that maybe they make 9,000 since they eliminate, like on the hotels, there is no 13th floor. So maybe they eliminate all these 1,000 numbers with 13 something.
It's possible.
We'll have to ask him and say, can you reveal? Super. Hey, Terry Stevens, how you doing, brother? Are you smoking any Sun Bear today? Nope.
Nope, I don't have any Sun Bear, unfortunately, but it sounds like something I want to get. I'm just sitting here listening to you guys while I work on one of my pipes.
Oh yeah, can you show? Let's see what you got there.
It's not done yet. I'm refining the shape.
So that is not a restoration. That's your original.
Handmade. I had it pretty much finished, and I rusticated it and stained it, and then I looked at it and went, "No, it's not done yet." So I'm back at it.
A dedicated artist.
I just want to say again, I've got one of Terry's pipes, and it is amazing. I can highly recommend his craft. And it's not just because he's here, because I'm sure I've said this before while he was away. It's a really, really great pipe. Yeah. I can highly recommend getting it.
And I won't tell him, don't tell Terry all the other things you said about him.
No, it's just about the pipe. Let's keep all the other stuff to ourselves.
That's all right. It's all right. As long as you like my pipes, it doesn't matter if you like me or not.
Let's put him against the wall. Bart, last week you were talking about the bonds. Which ones do you like more, Terry's or the bonds?
Oh,
Terry's.
Oh,
wow!
I can show you.
What a diplomat right there.
Yeah.
It's not just being diplomatic, but it has a totally different value to me. It's a very, very different value from having a commercial
plugged it back in. It doesn't work now.
Something made by hand. Here it is.
Beautiful.
Let me hold that up against something so you can actually see.
Yeah.
Just the grain on this thing is insane.
I got lucky with that block.
I did. And I just really like the shape. It looks. Sorry, Terry?
My next one's probably going to be just as good. I've got a big block sitting in front of me right now that shows really pretty grain. I'm trying to figure out how best to carve it to take advantage of that. I'm probably going to
you did wonders on this, and I can actually show why it's special if my camera works. Like the way the grain splits, it's perfect on the bottom. So it actually moves out on the shank. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of rears back where the shank leaves the bowl. So it's really like the grain is flowing into the bowl. It's hard to explain, but the angle of the grain changes towards the bowl, which makes it kind of like it's radiating out. This grain was amazing.
Art, move the pipe back about 2 inches. just because of your
Better?
camera focus. Yeah, that's good. So that's a little bit better focus on there. We can see some more of that grain. Nice.
So basically what I'm trying to say is it radiates out toward the shank. So it's kind of like it's a fan or something. That's what it looks like it's fanning out. And that makes it, here you can see this better, I think, on this side.
Beautiful.
It's really, really pretty.
Terry, what shades of stain did you use on that? Do you remember?
Pretty sure I used I want to say I used a russet and then restained, and I finished it with a shellac that had some tan in it.
Huh.
And then I buffed it out.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Beautiful.
You know, now that you mention that, this pipe does the exact same thing.
Yep.
It's straight grain and then it moves away from it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
I never noticed it. Thank you.
And that's very special. I haven't really seen that. I mean, not that I own that many pipes, but I've seen quite a few now. And grain always seems to move in a certain direction. And the fact that it's kind of fanning out, yeah, yours got that too. It's really cool. I like that so much.
It's the cut of the block. The blocks that do that tend to come from the outside of the briar burl.
Interesting.
Beautiful.
Just in my very limited experience, that's my opinion. I'm still a brand new barber, so.
It's the best way. I could get your hands in there, get messy, get some education on it by being in.
And this means that people can still get Terry's stuff without going bankrupt before he comes. Becomes a famous new Tom Alpine.
Dave Susi, man, that is, as my wife would say, a very phallic shape right there.
Oh boy.
Where my wife's a psychotherapist, guys. She looks at my cellar and it's just, that's the only thing she says. But Dave, what is the maker on that?
That's mine.
That's yours.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, every once in a while, after you see a great many blocks, many, you'll see something that lends itself to something unusual. Like it's kind of a fan. This is a plateau. There's the top. And I didn't have the heart to do anything but try to follow the extraordinary grain. It's an extraordinary piece of wood.
Very nice.
And so you come up with something like this. Believe it or not, it's a sitter.
Wow.
It took a lot of handwork, but the material is amazing. Once in a great while, you'll see something that just kind of blows your mind.
Can we see that plateau again?
They're so unusual, but just perfect for that.
Yeah, and it's the outer bark. I mean, you can see the curve where the grain meets the outer skin, and yeah. So that's what came out. It's so unusual that, well, I kept it.
Yes. And that's the artist's hazard. It's like, no, I can't sell this one because that one. Oh no, I can't sell that one either. Sorry.
Yeah, no one is really going to want this. It's just too unusual and too weird. So maybe I better just keep it.
Yeah, right. It's a good justification there. Hey, Bud.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
I opened my first tin. This is my first bowl of the Sun Bear, and I'm smoking in the near up. And I just kind of I took out about as much tobacco as I thought. This is a big bowl. It fit in there, and I just kind of twisted it and folded it over, and then just kind of stuffed it all in there. And once I got it lit initially and did the first tamp and lit it again, it's pretty much smoked halfway down, you know what I mean? And then I was talking and stuff, and of course it went out like a lot of Virginians will do. But yeah, I definitely taste the sweetness, and I'm a big honey fan anyway. I got like half a dozen different kinds of honey, and so I could really taste the honey in it. And I'm curious too, like with David, as far as when he's had a couple of years aging on the Virginias that are in there, what the sweetness will be like then, you know what I mean, when that comes forward. Because I don't get the Virginia doughy or anything else. And I think that's the Orientals and stuff that are in there are kind of even leveling that out kind of thing. And of course, my retrohale, half the time when I do a retrohale, it just stings my nose. You know what I mean? That's what I come away with. You know what I mean? But sometimes you will, you know, you can definitely pick up flavors. Halfway down the bowl, though, you know, the profile changes once everything kind of mingles together, kind of stuff. And I also I put a link to Watch City in the chat for those guys who have never been there before, and they sell a nice sampler. So you can go in there and buy like 5 different things for, you know, a pretty decent price and try out different things that they have of their own blends. So, and I've got probably, I don't know, 10 of them or so, 4 nuns and all kinds of, they got all kinds of cool things that they do. And so that's what's good. So.
Awesome.
What other honey blends do you recommend?
You know, all their, a lot of their flakes, and of course their cakes are all pretty good. The 4 nuns I thought was really good. That was pretty much a big hit. And that's kind of a seasonal thing. They'll like do a huge batch of it, you know, kind of thing, and once a year or twice a year or something like that.
On their website right now, their prices look pretty reasonable. I like it.
Yeah, the prices aren't bad at all. So, and like I said, they have a nice, I think they have a couple of samplers. So, and I tend to stick more toward the English and the non-aromatics, you know what I mean, nowadays, but you know, they have quite a few different things. So, but yeah, it's some good stuff. It's worth the investment, I think. So at least get a sampler that can tell you, and then most of the stuff's available. So I just picked up some of their rhythm and blues, they called it, which is basically just you know, red Virginia. It's Virginias, red Virginias that are matured, aged, and stoved, and they kind of blend them together. So, but I haven't tried it out yet. I'm just bought that the other day. So
they're out of stock of the rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
But
well, they put out a nice newsletter, you know what I mean? So they'll keep you updated as to when new stuff comes out. So go ahead.
Bud, you were talking about the changing tastes in the bowl that, and now that you've sort of gotten down to the second half and whatever, do you still taste the honey at the bottom of the bowl?
Not so much. It's I think I pick up more of the Oriental aspect of it, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. It's a different, I don't know, woodsy, you know, nutty, leathery flavor, you know what I mean? Comes out more once the Virginias have kind of been, you know, stoved through the pipe kind of deal, how it happens. And that's what I get a lot more, I think, as I get down in there. So
it's a very intelligent blend. You know, Dimitri, you know what I'm saying? It's like the way that he's put it together, whether by accident or design, the tastes do graduate downward. I always get a real immediate honey, sweet, you know, like the casing maybe or whatever that's in there right off the bat, which makes me like, oh, this is delicious. I'm just gonna keep smoking, and then that disappears. And by the time I get to there, then it's really a different taste. And I think that's really a blend that keeps you going, right? You don't get to the middle of the bowl and go, well, it's just, you know, the same shit all the way down. But
it doesn't turn into nothing, you know what I mean? Definitely changes, but it's still enjoyable, you know what I mean? So
yeah. And what are you smoking in?
This is a Near Up.
Oh, the Near Up.
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful.
I think they made quite a bit of extra money after our last meeting, Near Up. Or was that the one before where like everybody went like, wow, that's a really beautiful pipe. I think
they
we
have a lot
should
of beautiful
check their
pipes.
we should check their stock prices. I'm sure they went up by a few percent.
Yeah, on our backs entirely. Patrick.
So if Near Up is listening in, they can also become the new unofficial sponsor of the virtual pipe club. It's fine if Sunbear doesn't do it now. Near Up, you still got a chance. Just hit us up and we'll figure something out, right?
Yeah. How many sponsors does Super Bowl have? They got tons. We can embrace all.
We can mix and match. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we can. Patrick, you don't have your meerschaum today.
I was smoking it earlier. Now I've been smoking the combination pipe for 2020. I'm smoking GLP Stonehenge Flake.
What kind of blend is Stonehenge? I've never had it.
Stonehenge is a Virginia with Louisiana Perique and a bit of burley, a touch of burley.
Nice. That's a beautiful stem on that.
Yeah, this is I changed out the original stem for a forever stem from the guy up in Maine.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Up at Montfreand.
Yeah.
I think that's Vermont Freehand.
Yeah. Vermont, Maine, it's the same state. Vermont's a city in Maine. That's what I heard. So, very cool. And I just want to let you know that that Magnum PI called. He wants his shirt back. I just thought I would tell you.
Yeah.
No, that's a beautiful. I used to live in Hawaii. I had a ton of those shirts. You are very styling, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, everybody. This is my first time to join you guys and traveling and stuff. So, and being a newbie at the risk of come up or whatever, I feel like I might be able to take the prize for I really can't comment on the blend. I have no idea what I'm tasting. Good. I like it. It's not frying up my mouth or anything. So, but yeah, I've got number 847. A friend of mine ordered some and sent one to me. So, really like it. But thanks for having me. It's great.
Welcome,
guys, and learning a lot. So.
We'll hope to see more of you. We just all started out the same way. It's like, hi. And now, this is like my favorite time of the week, just to hang out with these guys. So, Ryan, what kind of tobaccos do you usually smoke?
A little bit of everything. I've got a picky wife who, it's kind of like, oh God, that stinks. Go take a shower and get away from me. So if it's aromatic, ooh, I like that, right? If she's out of town, I love some of the heavier stuff like nightcap or Presbyterian and whatnot, but it's kind of like having to choose between my palate and my
in your marriage
harmony in my home, right? So.
Well, that's interesting. So, and I asked the question because what you're familiar with, what your palate is familiar with, will almost certainly color your first impressions of the Sun Bear. So I was just kind of curious about.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some other Virginias, and this is definitely, kind of, I'm picking up on that, right? Like one called Yorktown. This is a lot milder, I think. Tasted some sweetness at the beginning, but now that I'm just about down to the bottom of the bowl, feels more I guess. Sense. Like I said, I'm still not sure what I'm doing, so.
Here's the place to come and
yeah,
like I said,
I hope to join you guys more frequently. So
Oliver, it was a brilliant idea to like, okay, hey, let's do a roundtable. Let's talk about one particular tobacco. The next time something big hits the circuit, we should do this again. It's a good way to get into some different kinds of tobaccos and get a vocabulary around what it is you're tasting by virtue of the older and wiser, not necessarily chronologically older, but like I would turn to Dimitri or David the week and ask questions, is like, because I really feel like they know so much that they teach me a lot every week. I just listen to them, so very cool. Well, welcome, man. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks. Nice to meet everybody else.
Yeah.
You too, David. And I know I put a post in the group to introduce myself. So it did mean that when all this COVID stuff is over, let's meet in person. I know we're geographically close.
I'd love it. Yeah, because otherwise it's just lonely.
Yeah, you ever been to the Orange County Pipe Club? I'm usually pretty regular there. Missed a few weeks, whatnot, or a few meetings. Just stuff going on. But
where do they meet?
Well, it kind of goes back and forth. And I don't remember what the current name of this mall is, but used to be called the Block over in Garden Grove. Yeah. So at the is it Saddle Ranch or Saddle or other. And then when it's not hockey season, a lot of times we'll go over to JT Schmid's in, I guess that's probably Orange there, right? Fun group of people.
Yeah, we'll meet. We're going to hook up for sure.
Yeah.
State is that, Ryan?
What's that?
What was that?
What state are you in?
Oh, California, Orange County area.
Orange County, California. Okay.
Yeah.
San Diego, right here.
Oh, great.
Come on up.
That's lepers out here, right?
Yeah.
I was invited to one of the Orange County Pipe Club meetings. I think it was the law professor.
Yeah, Curtis. Yeah. He doesn't come all that regularly, but he's a cool guy.
I guess not, because the day I went down there, it was some night, and I went to where I think it was a Mexican restaurant where they were meeting, but nobody was there.
Oh, really?
and so the next day I asked him, did I go to the wrong place? He said, oh, I forgot to tell you, they canceled that meeting.
Yeah. They have an Instagram handle or whatever, which is usually where they'll post, like, this is where we're when, and then, there's been a couple times with weather or whatnot, or they've had to cancel, so.
Well, he's in Fullerton, which is close to Brea, and I was interested because there's nobody out here that I know, aside from you now and David, that, smoke pipes.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people, but I don't know.
We're going to do a road trip, Stephen. We're going to get in a van and go up and see Todd. And
sounds like a good idea.
You guys ever been to the tobacco barn down in Lake Forest?
I didn't even know that there was a tobacco barn anywhere.
Yeah, so I go there quite a bit. I'm a member of their lounge, so usually hang out there once or twice a week. That's a cool place. I don't know if their lounge is open right now with all the COVID stuff. I think it may just be members only, just trying to control crowds. And since I flew last week, I've been doing a bit of self-isolation. I mean, I'm fine, but it just,
I don't know of any brick and mortar stores around.
Yeah, there's that one in El Toro. There is the Tinderbox in Costa Mesa.
Yeah, in Costa Mesa, and then there's one in Long Beach.
Nothing close here.
Yeah.
Have you ever been out to
Long Beach? But I've driven by it a couple of times, and I'm like, I've got to go there. Just at the time I discover it, then the zombie apocalypse happens, and so now I'm, it'll be gone by the time the coronavirus is over. Hey, Glenn. Just sitting back there and just chilling, listening to everything that's going on.
I'm here.
Yes. How are you, sir?
Good.
What fantastic pipe are you smoking today?
Let's see. This is a Criswell bamboo. Recent acquisition. I have no idea how old it is. The shape is called the axe. Got a kind of a blade shape on the bottom. And I don't have any Sun Bear, so I'm smoking John Bull, which I've been curious about for about a year, and a friend of mine gave me a pouch. So I'm smoking it, and I like it.
Glenn, can you hold that up one more time? Because I really like the shape of that pipe. That is cool.
Yeah, it's fairly...
It kind of also reminds me like of I don't know what it's called, but like the front of a boat, like an old Viking boat. They also had these swaying front arches into the water. It kind of looks like that too. Like the bow of a boat.
It's almost like the skater shape with that little bow piece on it, but they call it an axe.
It's really cool, Glenn. Thanks. That looks amazing. I like that shape.
Relatively small, but it's got a nice long shank, and I think this bamboo part cools the smoke.
It's a nice touch. It's a nice accent on there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Where'd you pick it up from?
A friend of mine had it, and it's too small for him, so. I was happy to unload it.
And so, but you got to tell us a little bit more about John Bull.
Well, I had seen it advertised, and whoever did the ad, it was very appealing. It's in English, and I'm not sure, I think it's widely distributed. But I didn't want to make an order for just one pouch, and I've got enough tobacco that I don't need to make a big order. But the same friend I got the pipe from had a pouch sitting in a box, and I asked him what he was going to do with it, and he said, I might get around to it someday. Why don't you take it? So I'm sampling it for him, and I like it.
Glenn, were you ever in the military?
Yes.
Okay, Cigars International has a thing called ID Me, and all you got to do is fill out the form, and it's free shipping and 10% off anything you buy. And they carry John Bull.
Huh. Cigar International?
Yeah.
That's the one out of Bethlehem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I believe, that's the business we're in. I'm a vet, and we tell all the vets about everything that they can get for free. Or let's take
It's
advantage.
actually really nice how Americans take such good care of their vets. I actually had a PO box at an American military base in the Netherlands because a friend of mine worked there, and I would do like grocery shopping and that kind of stuff because this was 20 years ago. So all the cool DVDs would come out way earlier at your side of the river than ours. So we would go there to something called the Future Zone and buy like an NTFS player and like the new DVDs, which you couldn't see in the Netherlands yet for another 2 months, or new video game stuff like that. And one of the things is he got me a PO box, and basically we could ship anything from America to the Netherlands for free because they would always do free shipping to PO boxes for military personnel. It was amazing. We were buying like clothing and stuff like that, shipping it to that box, and it would have to cross the sea and it would be free shipping. And to tell you how ridiculous we did this, we actually bought a Golf, Volkswagen Golf VR6, which is a car which was back then popular in America and hard to get in Europe, and we actually had it shipped to the Netherlands via the PO box, and this was doable back then. So we shipped the car from America to here, and it was for free.
How'd they get it in the PO box?
They didn't, but that was not the point of it. They would send you basically anything as long as you had an address, and since it was a military base, you could just tell them like a package is coming. The reason this guy had the PO box is because basically his father was in charge of the base. So I think that helped.
Should have like taken that Golf and filled it with pipe tobacco.
I should.
So, brother, I don't see your name, but just your phone. So because I'm pretty sure your name is not Moto G7. So I don't know your name, but that's a beautiful pipe you've got there.
Can you hear me, David? I'm taking a wild guess you're talking about me. I didn't. Yep. It actually took me like half an hour to figure out the settings on Zoom and all that. So I'll go in and correct that later. But yeah, first timer, second hand. But it's a little meerschaum I picked up. And yeah, this is one of my pride and joys, I guess you could say. Try to get his face in there.
Getting some nice color.
Yeah. Well, I what happened was a buddy of mine that I was getting into the wonderful hobby of ours was searching on classifieds and stuff, and he pulls up, I think it was like Let Go or something. And he says, "What do you think of Let Go? Do you think we'll find anything good on there?" And I go,
This one you
"That's
buy?
what."
Huh? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, some tobacco.
But
not with the pipes I smoke.
But yeah, he's like, "Well, isn't that mostly people just getting rid of their junk?" I go, "Yeah, but he sent me a picture of this, and I said, we got to, contact that guy immediately and get a hold of him. And it was actually an estate sale. So, and ended up landing a nice little meerschaum.
That is beautiful. Yeah, I'm surprised every so often in the most unexpected places. Like I picked up a whole bunch of pretty nice tobaccos from a guy on Facebook Marketplace who lived pretty close to me. Like that in itself is like, what are the odds that they actually live close by so I could go to their house and pick it up. And
yeah.
the guy, they just had a baby, and his wife said, okay, now that we have kids, no more smoking.
Get rid of all that. We got to be healthy now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've found out being in the commie state of California, there's not so much of a culture that's as ingrained here. I mean, it kind of started on the East Coast and hasn't completely gotten over this way. So it's harder to find, classifieds and bargain deals in a state over here like this. So,
well, what part of California do you live in now?
Sacramento area.
Sacramento.
Yeah. So in case there's anybody else in the club, it's good to know people in your own area. Whereas like a lot of you guys have a bunch of other little states close to each other. You can just drive a couple hours and actually have a coffee sit down.
Yeah. We drive a couple hours here. I'm still in LA.
You're still here.
Cool. Well, welcome. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, I plan on being a continual part of this. It's the first time I watched some of the YouTube videos, and the whole 2 or 3 hours of it, and I go, man, I'm missing out on that. It's good stuff.
These guys are my kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My kind of crazy too.
Hey Peter.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Which one?
Oh, so Peter number 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I 2 or he's 1 because he's here first? I can go by repeat if everybody wants to go with that.
You just turn your mic back off again. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. So yes, I got some Sun Bear. I'm on, right?
Yep.
And so never tasted this before. Got 2 tins because I wasn't sure I'd like it. I like it. I just put a little bit in a second bowl in the meerschaum.
Beautiful.
This thing it's actually so realistic looking. It's kind of creepy. The claws. They're just like really creepy. I mean, it's like they're just like so real looking. Yeah. So anyway,
realistically creepy is a good thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's very intricate. I just bought it on eBay used. I don't have any idea what it is, but it's beautiful.
That was an old girlfriend of mine. Realistically creepy. Yeah, that she was.
Yeah, it just looks weird. Anyway, I like the Sun Bear. It's different than what I normally smoke, which is great. I was thinking about halfway down in the bowl. I was like, I could smoke half a bowl of this and then go kiss my wife right on the mouth. And she'd go, that's nice. I think at the bottom of the bowl, she'd go, that tastes like your other stuff. The more, English blend, Latakia maybe kind of stuff. But I think it's great.
For the purposes of Bart's online questionnaires, I think we're going to need some confirmation about that. That your wife will kiss you after half a bowl.
Yeah.
Just because he's collecting the data, and we want accuracy.
She would kiss me after the bowl. She just wouldn't enjoy it.
I see. Okay.
I think she'd enjoy the first kiss. No, I don't get that deep. I just go, I like it or I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I can taste the honey. It's got a mild sweetness, very clean tasting. And then as I got further in the bowl, I had a big pack, like a big bowl full. About halfway down, it starts tasting more like, to me, normal stuff. But very pleasant. The room note seems really great, and the tin note is freaking awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that's like makes me almost like hungry or something. It's like really good. So thank you for asking, and I'm really glad I got it. I wasn't sure I'd get any, but I was 6 in the morning or something. So I wasn't early, but I wasn't late. So thanks a lot, and good to see everyone today.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. Good to see you.
Peter, I just want to thank you for all the pictures you sent me. I really appreciated that. And,
Yeah,
I've looked into it, and they actually made pipe stands as well from the deck of the HMS Victory.
Cool.
And I managed to find one on eBay.
Oh,
it
wow.
went for $6.5K. So that was a bit over my budget, but you have certainly piqued my interest.
Yeah, it was not I mean, I didn't pay anywhere close to that, but there's like an estate one that I sent you, and I think they had it at 2,400. So it's
yeah,
like I didn't pay that, I was about half of that. So but I bought it when it just was released. So you only made 100 of them. So
that was probably the smart choice, because I don't think I'll ever see it again for that price.
I never have smoked it yet. Like I said, I haven't had the guts to smoke that.
I know.
Because
I would, man.
So much not smoked.
It's meant to be smoked, and you're not gonna sell it anyway. So just enjoy it.
Yeah, I
It's
think
a nice
that's
piece
good.
of history.
I'll have to get brave one day and just fire it up.
When we all go meet together at Chicago or one of those other shows.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Yuriki, Boris, I just not ignoring you. You were just down at the bottom of the board.
It's okay. I'm smoking salty dogs.
What was that again? Hold that up again.
Salty dog.
A salty dog. Oh.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Dark, rich, deep. It's a wet vapor, but with a twist. I love it.
What's the twist? You say it's a vapor with a twist. So what's the twist?
Twist is that it's so dark. If I think vapor, it's like bright, summery taste. This one is deep, dark kind of vapor. So, but it's black. But it's my first black. I almost smoked the whole black, but more I smoke it, more I love it. It's really, really good.
How's the strength on that? Is that, would you say, a strong or medium?
It's smooth, but it's strong. Nicotine-wise, I can't say because I didn't get any hit of nicotine even in Rustica, so I don't know.
It's that Finnish genetics there. They
immune.
I don't know why I don't got. I don't smoke that much that it shouldn't be that way, but I really don't got any nicotine hits. Not even cabbage ropes or actually anything.
I think the nicotine goes straight to your beard.
Maybe.
Could be. So I have a personal question then to ask you, Yuriki. Is drinking the same with you? You don't.
Well, I'm a bigger bloke, so yes.
This is just preparing for the future. Again, when we all get together, and on the last evening, and we're all going to go to the bar. Yuriki will be the last man standing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Be smart. Don't drink with Scandinavians. It's a stupid life choice. I can tell you from experience. Don't do it.
with Finns.
I don't drink with Europeans, period. I was back in the 90s. I went to China to compete in a world championships, and at the end of the competition, everybody was at the bar, and all the Europeans were buying me drinks. And I'm like, how the hell do you guys drink this much? I could not keep up. So I hate to say it, and it'll ruin my street cred right now. But at one point I just said, guys, I got to go to the can. I'll see you in a minute. And I just slipped out the back door. But the Germans, the Brits, they all were like pounding them back. I'm glad that there were no Finnish athletes there that year, because I'd be dead by now, I think. So
I think in Europe we consume, like, I think it's Czechia actually, or Hungary. I think it's a Czech Republic that consumes the most liters of beer per person anywhere in the world. It's insane. I've been to Prague a few times, and like they'll have a half liter of beer with their breakfast. I don't know how they do it, but it's insane.
Yeah, what David said reminded me one old New York story. Famous Welsh poet Dylan Thomas, when he came to New York one time at White Horse Tavern in Greenwich Village, according to one source, he had 16 shots of whiskey. According to the other source, 18. And his last words were, "I think it's a record." If I tell it to any American, they say, 16 shots, how could he do it? If I tell it to Russian, they say, so what's a big deal? Only 16 shots.
That's just mouthwash. That's yeah, for a Russian. It's fantastic. Hey, Greg from Minnesota. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here. I'm late, but I made it.
You made it. That's all that matters. That's cool. Are you smoking Sun Bear today?
I am not. I have an open tin somewhere in the house that I could not find, and I also bought some of the new release, and I'm not opening up any other tins till I find that one tin that I can't find. So I'm smoking a blend called Matured Virginia. Have no idea what it is.
Was it just
got it from my tobacconist yesterday from Rich Lewis, and it's very good. It's I don't know who made it.
And what are you smoking it in, sir?
I am smoking it in a Mark Tinsky bent ball, and I've had this for about 5 years.
Very nice.
Been a very good, very good companion.
Some of you can see like some pipes have a classic shape to them. Do you guys know what I mean? Like you just look at it and it's like, okay, that's going to be a really brilliant smoker. It just so well made.
Well, Mark Tinsky is an amazing pipe maker. His pipes are exceptional.
Super. So for all the people who are watching this on YouTube right now, and guys know I after we're done, I post it back up on Facebook so everybody who couldn't make it today can watch it. So it seems like the consensus here in our roundtable is that Sun Bear gets a thumbs up across the board. A mild smoke that could be all day smoker. Yes, would you say? Probably, and again, everybody's going to have their own opinion about this, but I agree with several guys who said something about the tin note being just the most tantalizing. That's the word I want to use. And how often you get to use that word in a sentence. It's the most tantalizing tin note that I've had come my way recently. So I would recommend it for that reason alone. What else can we say about it?
Seductive.
Seductive. Yes, that's right. Because it'll lead you in that little bit of honey and tequila and the top note, and then it gets sneaky on the way down.
It's funny. A little over 30 years ago, I was in a car accident, and I had a skull fracture, and I lost my sense of smell completely for a little over 2 years. So you can't smell, you can't taste. I don't know how much of my smell has come back, what percentage, but it's a big reason that I enjoy the pipes. Actually, that's how I got into cigars, because one of the first things I smelled or could detect was the aroma of a cigar. So on Tin Notes, you know, when I first opened it, when I first got a whiff of it, anybody remember All Brand, the cereal?
Yep.
It was kind of like right off the bat, I kind of detected that. I can't pick up any of the tequila, you know, when I smell I smell tequila, I couldn't detect it, but it's a delightful smoke. I had several bowls of it in a clay, and I was gonna try it out in my latest acquisition here. That was the Asquith. But this thing is huge. It's like 2.5 inch chamber. And then yesterday, I got my stem from Tom Eltang back. So, and I love this little poker. It's a great smoker. So I tried the, I wanted to see if there was a big difference in the briar over the clays, and there wasn't, except that when I finished with the briar, there was a little sourness, a little bitterness in the back of my mouth that I didn't pick up on the clays. And now I'm trying it in a Dagner Cobb, Meerschaum, Missouri Meerschaum, and it delightful, pleasant, good. When I first got a hit of it, I thought McClellan-esque.
Yeah.
McClellan-like.
I think you're right about that. Yeah. If you get a chance to, I mean, if it happens during this, whenever it happens, this week or next week or whatever, that you smoke that in your Morta, your new acquisition there, love to hear like what the difference is, because those Mortas, different experience. Yeah. Very nice. And Todd, when I said I can smell the tequila in here, I'm guessing. You know what I mean, guys? Like there is a certain top note on top of that tin.
Fruity.
That is fruity boozy. Like I think the fruity thing that you're really smelling out of is the elderflower, but the hint of something boozy in there, I think that's the tequila. And it's pretty light. It's pretty subtle. But
I was really skeptical because I'm anything that's flavored, I try to stay away from. But I was it not an aromatic. I mean, to me, it doesn't smoke like an aromatic. It's very good, Virginia.
Very cool. Well, I'm gonna.
Not much of a nicotine hit.
Again, it gets to be this time of day when I start to say, we must remember the rest of our families out there waiting for us to return to the normal world. But I was thinking, first of all, Oliver, thank you again for the great idea on the roundtable, and anything. Any last thoughts about what we should throw out to the group on this?
It was an amazing come together, and I really appreciated that so many people follow our live chats and on YouTube and on Facebook. It's totally amazing, and we're growing very fast, and so many nice and kind people. It's outstanding, I would say. I love it a lot.
Really awesome. Really awesome.
I wanted to show something quick here, since a couple of you showed pipes that are a little bit different. This is an Eric Burke New England Nautilus I bought. I've only smoked it a couple of times, but it smokes great.
Love the carving on that.
the grain is wonderful. I don't know if you can see it or not there.
Beautiful.
I'm becoming very fond of plateaus myself. I look around, I've got a couple in there, and they seem so primal. You know what I mean? Like barbaric,
rugged.
Yeah. Yes, it takes a real man to smoke a plateau. Yeah. Cool. Well, listen, guys, you want to know what's coming up? Next weekend, which is what, the John David Cole will finally be here, Country Squire. And he's an awesome, every time I talk to him, he is just, I got to say, like the sweetest guy, the nicest person. He is so approachable and good natured. So he's going to be here. He's going to talk to us about anything that you guys want to ask him and whatnot. But he's also going to like give us a little insight into owning a brick and mortar pipe shop, tobacco store. So he's a blender. He makes his own blends. The Country Squire, at least in that part of the country, is like the oldest brick and mortar. It's been there for more than 50 years. And then he bought it from the other owner. And so I asked him if he wouldn't mind just talking about like the business as a small business owner. Like we've seen some, these big corporations, like from when Per Jensen was here, and also Brian Levine has a lot of experience talking to people who are higher up in the industry. But John David's like, basically could be any one of us.
Is he the one that Jeremy called Tobacco Jesus?
Yes, it's exactly him.
It sounded like a John Prine song, Tobacco Jesus.
He's that guy. Like he fits that profile without me even being a joke. He's like that. He's got, he's a good old boy. He's got long hair, this long beard, and he sits out like they're literal rocking chairs in the front of the store. And so you just have to like picture him sitting in a rocker, smoking some of his blend.
You call Central Casting and say, "Hey, I need a Tobacco Jesus."
And they send him
There
out.
he is.
That's him, exactly. So he's going to be here next weekend. Then the weekend after that, hold on to your hats, Russ Roulette is going to be here.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, tell a friend. That I'd love to have a big group to attend that one in person and listen to his stories and ask him all the questions that you might have. Dimitri, you know him well, don't you?
Yes, Patrick and I, we know him personally. Amazing guy, and we love his tobaccos. A few years ago, when New York Pipe Club tobaccos were released, actually they were blended by Russ Roulette, and he made wonderful reincarnation of John Cotton blends, Bengal slices, Warhorse. That's all Russ Roulette. Also, in old days, he made amazing blends together with Mike McNeil of McClelland. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I remember some time ago, somebody asked me about the first pipe that I ever bought. I smoked it earlier today. This is French-made Joby Avanti, straight billiard. That was one of the cheapest pipes I could find and which appealed to me. So that was first pipe that I ever bought, 1995.
Beautiful. Tim Heineck, I just want to say once again, thank you for the hookup there, brother. I really appreciate that. Then we're still scheduling a little bit into September, but on September 22nd, I have to look at the calendar. Brian Levine is going to return and talk about Disney and Disney pipes. So he's going to come back and tell some more stories about the Disney pipe collection and that whole collector's story. So that's what's coming up in the next month. And we'll have some more updates with some of the guys who are we'll get to fill in between. Anytime that you have an idea of somebody that you think would be really cool to have in the club as a guest speaker, or if you know somebody, like a couple of you guys you're hooked up. I'm so like excited about knowing all these guys who know all the, you know, a guy who knows a guy who knows the guy, right? That is so cool. So please let us know, and we'll do our best to get them into the club meetings. Okay. You know what? Be safe. Be well. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.
See you.
Thanks, David. Take care, you guys.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all, guys. See you next Saturday.
Hey, everyone.
See you.